you guys know there's a kaiju in the monsterverse that's way bigger than Godzilla, Kong, and Shimo even? I had no idea, and then I saw this thumbnail. This huge titan dwarfs Godzilla and Shimo. That means there's something way bigger. So today we're learning from Dangerville what the hell is so damn big in the monsterverse, dude. I gotta see what this is. I gotta give my opinion. Leave a like down below, subscribe to Dangerville because they're freaking awesome, and let's get into it.
Godzilla Kong: The New Empire is said by the director himself to have the most massive threat yet in the series, in the form of
I feel like
the
they
Scar
say that
King.
every movie,
now,
though.
This is likely in a figurative sense.
Yeah.
But he also does state that Scar is indeed larger than Kong. And spoilers, everyone. The recently semi-revealed new titan called Shimo has also been shown to be far larger than Kong and even Godzilla in his evolved form.
Hey, who else is disappointed down below that we didn't see Shimo in a crazy trailer like Mechagodzilla? We saw freaking Playmates toys, not even cool toys, Playmates toys, which are for little children. Crappy $20 things ruined the movie.
And we see
Or
all this
spoiled
thanks
it, not
to the
ruined.
merchandise showcasing the scale
Look
between
at these
these
things.
two monsters. And we can't forget the old Call of Duty Easter egg cave art. Side by side, Shimo is clearly bigger than the G-Man. But I don't know about you, but it seems like everyone is missing this. Hidden in the trailer, and throughout the recent Monsterverse, is evidence to support even bigger titans.
Oh,
There
damn.
very well could have been a species of Mega Titan that once roamed the Hollow Earth. One that would dwarf them all.
That's
Residents,
awesome.
This is Jacob and welcome to Dangerville. Let's go back to the New Empire trailer. We saw so much in this teaser for the film that it was easy to have missed a few potential hidden secrets. While everyone was looking at what color Godzilla was, they may have snuck in proof of these Mega Titans.
Ooh.
Let's go to the scene with a large gathering of the other Kong species members in the Hollow Earth. In this shot, the sheer sight of that many Kongs distracts your eyes away from what's right in front of you.
Oh my god.
You tell me, do these look like rib bones of a long-deceased Megatitan?
If I was a snake, it would have bit me. I honestly did not. I was looking right at the ribcage. I didn't even notice it. The freaking Kongs are like the size of Godzilla, and they look like a bunch of tiny people around this ribcage. Holy
They
crap.
sure do to me. These massive structures reach out from the ground and have that very evident ribcage shape to them, even if the other side is missing.
Look at the little monkey
And
next to it.
These things are massive. They appear to be many times larger than the apes there that must be around 300 feet in height. Because another
Jesus.
scene in the trailer shown us that they're all in the same ballpark in terms of size as Kong. If these are rib bones, then that would mean the creature they came from was thousands of feet in size.
That's
Now, I know there's
crazy.
plenty of you out there that may not be total believers yet in this theory, and that's why I searched through Monsterverse history and found even more evidence of the Mega Titan.
Y'all
And
making
this
Jacob
monster
do research.
Very well could have been horrifying.
Oh.
Not as horrifying as identity fraud, and you can help fight off those pesky hackers and
That was
scammers
smooth.
thanks to
That
the
was smooth
sponsor
right
of
there.
this video, Aura. People may be able to find out where you live, your private information, and so much more. And
Jesus.
it's not to avoid the arguing and all the headaches by having Aura take care of it for you. You and your family can finally take that deep breath, knowing that you have someone else watching out over you.
I don't even have a
protecting you
family.
Like Godzilla protects his territory. So if you don't want to be exploited for the benefit of evil people from all over the world, go to aura.com/Dangerville and take advantage of the free 2-week trial it's going to give you for that. And then at that point, you can decide if you want the whole thing for yourself or not. Hey, back to the fantasy monsters
Jacob's
now.
got me scared, bro. I
Who
need
here
this
remembers
crap because
Skull
of the
Island
evil
cartoon
people.
that came out on Netflix earlier this year? Anyone? Jokes aside, evidence of massive titans can also be found in the series.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't the Kraken bigger than Godzilla?
We all gave that show a hard time for feeling out of place in the Monsterverse, but it's looking to have at least some continuity with the new movie. More of these ribcage bones could also be seen in one of the episodes in that series.
Damn, he's
We had
right!
a video on it back then, but never had any expectation of these rib bones ever amounting to anything greater than just a cool set piece for the show.
I for real never noticed rib cages. I think that I just noticed a huge character flaw about myself. How many times have they been in movies and shows?
Clearly, it supported the idea of Mega Titans, though. And since our Kong was supposed to be around 200 feet tall in that show, these bones still had to have belonged to a monster larger than any we have seen so far in the Monsterverse.
Mother of
So are
God!
you still having a hard time picturing Mega Titans in the Monsterverse? Alright, here's one last bit of evidence. And it's the most definite answer to our question yet.
Oh,
So
damn.
there's a lot to be said for Legendary and these toy companies revealing a lot of the secrets for the movie that even the trailers gave no proof of.
You
I
bastards.
mean, you go into a Walmart and you see the Shimo guys staring at you, and the only interaction you had with this new movie was just the trailer, and you'd be like, what the heck is this thing? In the end, here we are, and here is the back of one of the toy boxes.
Wowza!
You see Godzilla and Shimo, and behind them you see a full set of 100% rib bones. The box itself even calls them the bone cage.
Okay, at this point, anyone who doubts Jacob's theory over here is an absolute goober. I don't know what you eat, like what?
As always, everyone, this is purely speculation for a bit of fun.
No,
and
at this point, it's fact.
There's the tiniest chance that the movie will give some boneheaded reasoning behind the structures appearing to be ribs. And they end up not being rib cages at all or something.
They better be ribs.
I just don't see that being the case. I do believe these came from a Megatitan from the Hollow Earth's ancient past, from a time even older than Godzilla and Shimo, perhaps.
Like every creature that exists today, there used to be a much more ancient, much bigger version of it. I feel like it'd be the same for kaiju.
Now, your guess is as good as mine when it comes to what this creature could have been. It's safe to assume the MonsterVerse creators probably have not even thought that far. For all we know, they could have added the remains of an ancient Megatitan because it just so happens to make quite the badass set piece for a kaiju face-off. But in my mind, I go to Greek mythology to paint a picture here.
I was thinking of the Titans
I know
also.
We call Godzilla and the others Titans. But what if they were actually more like the Greek gods? And these remains are from the MonsterVerse equivalent of the Titans in ancient Greek lore.
We almost got
let's take a more
flashed.
science-based route here. I could see a situation in which these newer, more adaptable and quickly reproducing creatures that we call Titans in the MonsterVerse simply beat these Mega Titans in the great evolutionary race. It's happened time and time again in our real world. What's probably the most famous example being the dinosaurs.
Yeah, that.
Just like we humans look like tiny creatures in the shadow of these ancient behemoths, perhaps the Kongs and other species of the Hollow Earth are living in a similar situation. Who knows what could have killed these Titans or if there's a chance any are still alive. But how cool would it be to learn that the Titans of the MonsterVerse are like us humans and these remains are like their versions of the dinosaurs?
I hope that's the case so bad.
Bone cage diorama. Now if it said rib cage, I would just leave it at that, but it says bone cage, which makes me think this is actually a structure used with the intent of keeping something in, like a cage. Since Shimo is in the picture here with it, it makes me think that perhaps Scar keeps Shimo jailed in a sense in this bone cage.
Yeah, but he's so right. That makes so much sense.
Believing a Titan of Shimo's supposed power would be able to be held back by some bones.
Yeah.
But tell me what you guys think.
That's what the whip.
At this
I don't
point,
know.
Everyone, these rib bones may end up being nothing more than set pieces to help in making a sick, nasty environment for the monsters to be in.
That's the thing, is that's definitely what it is. I love the new Godzilla movies, but the legendary writers need to get their crap together. Like Godzilla 2014 and Skull Island had perfect writing, but since then it's been kind of a disaster, just with like epic kaiju stuff, so I don't care.
But that still doesn't mean it's not evidence that Mega Titans did exist. And there's an old quote that I think we all can agree on here.
There's always a bigger fish.
Yeah, Qui-Gon.
Alright, so here I am in the flesh, and now we're gonna go back to a community post I made last week asking you guys, do you think the MonsterVerse needs bigger Titans?
Yes.
I did a poll, so let's see what you guys have to say. And so it looks like 65% of you said that bigger is better, while 35% of you said that it's not the size that matters.
Oh, that's...
Now I'm gonna go ahead and read through some of the comments.
That's intense, the
Alright,
psychology
this one right
behind
here is
that.
actually pretty good. Monster Kid Corey says, one of the coolest things about Singular Point and -1 is that the kaiju were smaller. There's a different kind of horror in a kaiju that is still big, but not too big to single you out and hunt you personally. I think he meant not too big to where it doesn't want to not actually, you know what I mean? He can actually like see you. He's not too big like what Godzilla MonsterVerse Godzilla is. He's so big, he's just towering over you. He could hardly notice you, but these smaller creatures, these smaller monsters, they're hunting you kind of like what we see the dinosaurs do in the Jurassic Park series.
No, but in another sense, though, we still get the hunted. If there's bigger kaiju, then they could be hunting Godzilla and Kong the way, like, -1 would hunt people. That'd be sweet.
And now, I've personally always agreed with this. I think it's always good to have monsters in any sort of monster film that are, I don't know, a size that will allow them to hunt down us humans.
Well, that's
to
what
give
skull
that
crawlers are
person
for.
that extra little bit of fear that we don't get when something's just unridiculously huge. I mean, obviously we're terrified of something that big, but at the end of the day, it's not like we have to worry about him, you know, like ripping our entrails out in front of us. You know, it's a different level of fear when it's small enough to where you actually feel it kill you. It's getting dark here right now. All right, let's move on. Toku Writer 2872 gives a very honest take. They say, whatever Titan size is what is necessary for the story they are telling. If they need to be bigger, go ahead. If they need to keep the size consistent, that's fine too.
It's a good take.
He's pretty much just saying, whatever makes the story more epic, do it. I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. Cody Hendrick, you sound like a NASCAR driver or something. You give a funny little one right here. You say, as a certain Godzilla poster once said, size does matter. That is a famous poster, sure. Here's a
Size
different take on the
clearly
size
matters.
Of the monsters in the Monsterverse.
We're all kidding ourselves.
Chompy dude? If they make the Titans too big, it becomes too unreasonable. Pretty much meaning that the larger the monster gets, the more, I don't know, unplausible it becomes, the less realistic, the less believable. So I think that's good for now, everyone. If you want more videos like this, you know what to do. Subscribe, share this video around, do all that YouTube stuff. And as always, this has been Jacob, and I will see you in the next one.
It's a good video right there. Definitely subscribe to Dangerville. I agree with just about everything said in there. The ribcage is pretty much like evidence that bigger things existed. However, Legendary is a disaster, and in the future, if they decide they don't want bigger kaiju, they will just make this not canon anymore. Either way, thank God Legendary has some epic kaiju battles, because it lets me ignore the storyline nonsense a little better. But yeah, subscribe to Dangerville, of course. Leave a like, subscribe here too, and I'll see you next time. Peace!